Welcome back, SimCFI here. We're over Folsom Lake and we're going to do some steep turns. So remember, steep turn, we're going to be at 45 degrees of bank. That's going to be halfway between the 30 and 60 degree bank mark. And we want to pick a point. So I'm going to choose, I think I'm going to choose this cloud over here. It's also by our river, by the dam. So what we want to do is pick a speed and altitude. So we're going to do this maneuver at 3,500 feet. And I'm going to choose 110 miles per hour. So this airplane, we're going to have to reduce the RPM down to 2,200 RPM to get us down to that speed. And then you want to trim out the airplane. So I was just cruising at like 140 something. So now the nose wants to drop. It's nose heavy. So we got to trim for the slower airspeed. So we have to trim nose up, which is clockwise. Now we'll get that power back up to 22. Oh, it was gonna be like 115, I think, is what it stabilizes. Yeah, 115 miles per hour, pointing at our cloud. And so on a steep turn, again, go read about it in the Pilot's Handbook of Aeronautical Knowledge about load factor and how we need extra lift in a bank. Also read about the maneuvers themselves in the Airplane Flying Handbook. But when we turn steeply, the steeper the bank angle, the more back pressure it requires. So on the real airplane, you kind of feel that extra load. But to overcome the load factor and the extra drag, we increase the power during the turn. So what we're going to do is, we look around, make sure it's clear, kind of do our clearing turns as we came in over the lake. We're at 115 miles per hour, 3,500 feet, pointing at the cloud. We're going to roll into it to the right, a little bit of right rudder, increase the power about 100 RPM, and start increasing that back pressure, get the bank right over to that 45 degrees. Now for a right-hand turn from the pilot's perspective, you're going to want to put the horizon line right there at the left side of the cowling, maybe a little bit higher. Decrease that bank a little bit. You're right about there. You want to learn that spot on the horizon. Then you just focus on that, and you focus on your bank angle. That cloud kind of messed me up there. Here comes our cloud. Roll out, left rudder, left aileron. Reduce the power back to 22, and relax the back pressure. You should just be able to let go of all the flight controls once you come out of the maneuver. Okay, let's get it back up to 3,500, and we'll do a turn to the left. So a turn to the left, we're going to put the horizon right in this little corner where the bump is in the cowling. Let's get the 2,200 RPM, pointing at the cloud. Now we're a little past the lake, let's just keep going. Alright, we're at 115 miles per hour, 3,500 feet. We're clear to the left, so we're going to turn left, add that 100 RPM, left rudder, left aileron, back pressure on the yoke. Get that horizon line right in there. 45 degrees of bank. And we hold the horizon right in that little corner of the cowling there. Get it down a little bit. And see, we're holding the airspeed, we're holding the altitude, and I'm keeping the eyes outside. And just glancing down at that attitude indicator for the bank angle. You also want to, learn what 45 degrees of bank looks like outside. Here goes the river. Here comes the cloud. So now we go right rudder, right aileron. Reduce the power. Relax the pitch. Back down to 2,200. We're a little delayed in the power. And to be honest, I think that was the cloud I was supposed to go to. So you want to pick, that's an important lesson in picking good visual maneuver, good visual checkpoints, landmarks, so you don't get lost in the maneuver. But the idea is once you start seeing your point, you begin rolling out. So if you're in a right turn, it's going to be left rudder, left aileron, relax the yoke, reduce the power. Same thing for the other way, just turning to the right to roll out of a left turn. And so that is all there is to it to steep turns. Private pilot, you do them at 45 degrees of bank, and commercial pilot, you do them to 50 degrees of bank, right about there. But it's the principle that's the same. You find the spot on the horizon that goes through the panel to keep your altitude, and you find the RPM that keeps the speed you want. When you enter your turn, increase the RPM by 100. When you roll out of the turn, decrease it by 100. Once you roll out of the turn and get it back to your RPM setting, you let go of all the controls, and the airplane should fly at your airspeed, 115, and your altitude, 3,500 feet. Alright, see you in the next video.